Okay, now what I wanted to do here today was explain for new users of Delphic Oracle, or timezones for that matter, because the same rules would apply, how to set up a new chart. And this can be done by pressing the insert key or going to chart new, and this will bring up the new chart entry dialog. And you just use the tab key to move between fields, or shift tab to go backwards. Now you can just type in a name, and then hit tab, and then go to the date field. In the date field we have actually three different options basically, although there are other ways to display the date format within those options. The European date format will put the day, month, and year. American format will do it as is shown with month, day, year, and scientific format will put the year, then the month, and the day. Now you can change this. It is a class property, so it should update automatically, but if it doesn't, because for all instances of the date-time component within the program, it should update all of them at the same time because it is a class property. However, you might want to, if you had the database open or something like that, this really shouldn't be changed very much. It should be set to whatever you normally use and then left for the entire lifetime of the program, but it's there in case you want to use it. So you click save, and then it will, update. Now, the date format, it has these separators, forward slashes. You can switch those to period, for example, if you're using European date format, or a dash, for example. Those different date separators are part of the program. I use forward slash, and then you just press a tab key to move forward. They are numeric here, so I didn't put August, AUG, for August. That will bring up an error, so you don't want to use that. Now, the time format, same sort of thing. You can go to the 24-hour clock if you're using European date format, and just say, for 8 p.m. is just 20 colon or a dot, and 20 minutes or something like that. And then you can just leave the PM or AM off. To update the date field, you just click like that, and it will update to the current time. I should say date and time. Next is the place name. This is probably the area which would give the most people confusion. The Terran Atlas is a very, very large atlas. It may in fact be the largest in the entire field for astrological use. If you click here, and it will show you the atlas window, and in this case I have it set to Plaskai and so on, but you can do, for the most part, a lot of the atlas functions within just the new chart window. You can do a lookup. If I was to change this to Denver, Colorado, and then just hit tab, it will do an automatic lookup and will give 28 Libra rising and so on, which is what I've got here in the lower right below the field here. It will give you the ascendant and the midheaven. These odd symbols are based on the nautical metaphor. That's the oyox for the helm of the boat and for turning the ship around, and this is like the sail or the mast for the midheaven. I'm not going to get into explaining why that is. Just know that the first number there, 28 Libra, is the ascendant, and 3 Leo is the midheaven. Now, within the Atlas window, there are a lot of different possibilities here, because we've got 13 million different spellings for various locations. They're not all unique locations, but it's a huge database. So you've got to keep in mind that you might run into duplicates from time to time. So if you have some location you're not sure of the spelling, you can use like the asterisk after the place name, and then you hit tab key, and it will bring up here. We've got DN that comes up with 154 different locations in the state of Colorado. You can tell the records down by this lower field down at the bottom here. And then you just select one of these, whatever one that you want for that. You click that, and then you click OK, and you're done. So, but it's important to know that. And so some things, for example, when you're doing a lookup for a big city, some cities will follow like the Rand McNally standard, because they have so many other locations within the state. Like, for example, I was doing Denver, Colorado. Now the reason this has this in here and it comes up with a single location is because I put it in there. But really, there's a lot of times what you will have is like Phoenix. If I put in Phoenix, Arizona, Phoenix, and then put AZ. Okay, well that's also too, but there are some locations like Washington, DC, for example. Okay, it'll say location not found. That's going to be peculiar. Now, just put the asterisk after it and click that, and it will bring up. And the reason is when you put the tab key, it brings up all these different duplicates. There's Washington, Aqueduct, Bank, Historical, Border Trade, Building. It follows, in a lot of cases, this Rand McNally standard. So if you really want Washington City of, then you have to put like Washington City. So now what I would recommend is that you get in the habit of using the asterisk, because it'll save you a lot of trouble for various lookups, because you won't know necessarily how something is spelled within a given area, and so that'll give the location once you do the lookup and you click OK. A common duplicate situation, how about Fairview, Pennsylvania? This used to be one of the examples for the ACS Atlas anyway, where you have many different locations listed. Yeah, so you go through here and you just select which one it is, but they're all like different counties. You can tell by looking on the right, Somerset County, Erie County, Northumberland County, and so on. You just pick the one that you want, and then you click OK, and then it will maintain those positions there. It'll show the latitude and longitude afterwards and the time zone. So the idea here is to try to either use the asterisk if you don't know what it is, or you can open the Atlas window and then change search modes. You could use locate, for example, and then do a lookup. And this will show Fairview, but it'll show also everything else pretty much in the entire state of Pennsylvania, which has, in this case, 59,091 records. So keep that diversity in mind. It's important to keep that idea of using the asterisk in the place name when not sure of your spelling. Once you have the location selected, then you can click OK, and then it'll bring up your time zone that's associated with it. In this case we have UTC -4. If you don't agree with that value, you can change it. You can either change it within the Atlas or use this other window, which has an abbreviated list of zones. The other list is rather long in the Atlas. If I bring this up, if you don't like what it's showing you, then you can use this window, and you can select among any number of these. But it really doesn't matter what the name of the zone is. So that's important to realize. The name of the zone doesn't really affect the chart. What does affect the chart is the numeric value internally. So that is what you want to keep in mind. When you click OK, as long as you agree with like the 4 hours west of London, so to speak. The minus means west, the plus is east. So that's the important thing to keep in mind. And then you can select the source, and then you can enter notes, and that'll be, if you save the chart in the chart database, that will keep those values there internally, so that you'll be able to see what you were thinking at the time that you were setting them up. So there are also, I want to go back a little bit to the Terran Atlas window, the search modes. Locate will show the place location along with all the others alongside of it. Filter will filter everything out so that you only see the entries that fit that description. If you have an asterisk, we'll just do that. Then we'll show up everything that is like that matches there. You have 276 records that fit that description within Pennsylvania. So it's a good way to sort through and figure out what you want. If you want to look at an entire country, you can click browse, and you can select which country you want to look at. Some of these are rather large, but even the largest, I think in this case Canada, has like 300 and some odd thousand records. Russia is roughly similar. And it loads 307,000 records, but it's kind of, see now you've got some locations that have some of these really weird spellings with the, for some reason they have like parentheses around them, so you would never find those if you didn't use the asterisk. So that's something to keep in mind. So anyway, that's pretty much all I had to say on this for now. Have a good day.